Hi, this is Scott Kilo Sierra 6 Delta Alpha Yankee, and for today's video, this is the first of several videos that I'm going to be doing covering useful accessories for the HA1UV. Now, some of this will cross over, of course, into the HA1 Golf, but for today's video, what I want to talk about first is this is often the first question I get asked in terms of upgrades or accessories for any given radio, and that is, what antenna would I recommend people upgrade to? Now, this is often asked particularly with the import Chinese radios, because oftentimes the antennas that they come with are adequate to task, but they're not terrific. And in some cases, the antennas are just complete garbage. But in some cases, they're not. They're actually not half bad. And one thing I can report about the HA1UV is that the factory antenna is actually not half bad. My SWR testing for this antenna revealed that I was just above 1.1 on VHF on 146.420. On 441 for UHF, I was around 1.4 to 1.5. And then when we got into GMRS, it was again 1.4 to 1.5, which is not bad for a factory antenna. However, SWR only tells a portion of the story when it comes to an antenna, and it doesn't really tell you much about the reception capability of the antenna, and also the antenna design itself can contribute to increasing the range on your antenna via gain. So there are other factors involved, particularly with aftermarket antennas, that do increase the performance characteristics of your radio. But having said that, from an anecdotal standpoint, I can tell you that I'm actually quite pleased with the factory antenna on this radio. It's not bad, not bad at all. Reception is good, very good. And in terms of outgoing signal reports, no complaints there either. So this is a perfectly serviceable antenna, and I wouldn't tell you on this particular radio that you need to run out and upgrade the antenna in order to get the radio to work to any degree. It actually works pretty well with the factory antenna, and as we discussed during the review, it features that nice flush mounting with the ring on the radio. We've got a little bit of gasketing involved. About the only knock I would have on it is that there's not a great deal of flexibility on this antenna, but it does have a good solid contact with the base, so I'm not too concerned about any knocks or dings on the antenna transmitting any force into the actual board of the radio. However, I won't tell you that you won't see any kind of improvement by going to an aftermarket antenna, and particularly in the case of one of these antennas I'm going to talk about, it's excellent no matter what radio that you screw it onto. So you can achieve some increased performance with an upgraded antenna. But what I will say is it's not something you necessarily have to do. But if you want to squeeze every bit of performance out of this radio, by all means, aftermarket antennas can be a very good idea. So I'm only going to talk about three today, and two brands for three, but there are of course, other versions of these antennas that I'm going to show you, and there's other antennas that are available for this type of radio. But the first antenna I'm going to talk about in terms of an upgrade is going to be one that I go to on a lot of my import radios, and that's going to be the Nagoya NA701. And I keep using the term import on my on my videos. When I mean that, basically I'm talking about imported from China. Of course, Japanese radios are imported from Japan, and they tend to fall into sort of a different kind of animal category. But the Nagoya NA701 and NA771 antennas, I've had a lot of good success with these antennas over the years. They're not terribly expensive, and they give very good performance. Now, not as good performance as one of the other antennas I'm going to talk about here, but they kind of fall between what you would get with a factory antenna and what you would get with the really high-end antennas. But Nagoya has a number of different connections at the bottom. Oftentimes you're used to seeing the SMA-Female connection on these antennas, but they also make an SMA-Male connection, and that's what this one is right here. Now, mounted on the radio, let's go ahead and take that off, and we'll screw this in. This fits easily within that ring at the top of the radio, and there's no unsightly gaps. It's actually a pretty good fit, And I can tell you, with my experience with this particular antenna, not necessarily on this radio, but on others, excellent reception characteristics and excellent transmit characteristics. But there is another version of this, of course, and that's a 15.5-inch whip, and that's the NA771. I don't have one of those handy today with the SMA-Male connection on the bottom. But this is a good recommended upgrade antenna that's easily obtainable via Amazon. You know, with the Nagoyas, you do have to watch out for counterfeits, and I'll tell you, if your antenna doesn't look like this, and there's also some packaging characteristics, chances are you've got a counterfeit, and that's a bit of a problem. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the counterfeit equipment. I guess not necessarily problem, but issue that people continue to run into. And I've got some interesting insights onto that, because I am getting ready to move into the direction of selling some actual radio equipment through Spectre Gear, which of course is my day job. And if you're interested in slings, pouches, and of course radio pouches, spectregear.com is your source for that. But we're going to be selling some things like antennas, speaker mics, etc. And tracking down the lineage on these antennas can be difficult. And there's a lot of people that are basically selling these out the back door. And while they're counterfeit in some cases, they're actually the same as the factory antenna, just at a lower price point. But the Nagoya, again, if you buy from a reputable source, and Amazon, they have some on there where a lot of people have verified that they are in fact legit. And I'll leave a link for this antenna in the description to a legit source on Amazon to buy a genuine Nagoya. But as I said, Nagoya antennas are pretty cool. But when it comes to an SMA-Male connection type antenna, there are two that I tend to really lean heavily towards. I use these extensively on my radios, such as ICOMs and Yaesus and whatnot, with the SMA-Male connections, and that's the SRH77CA 15.5-inch whip antenna, dual band. And of course the shorter version of that, which is the SRH701 Alpha. They're basically the same type of antenna, especially in terms of the base. The only difference is going to be the length of the whip. The longer the whip, the better the reception characteristics and transmit characteristics, obviously. But if you have an issue with the length of the antenna getting in the way of what you're doing, the 701 is a bit of a compromise off of the SRH77 design. But the king Mac daddy of them all is the SRH77CA. I have never had a bad experience with this antenna when I put it on a radio. This gives excellent performance. Again, no matter what you mount this onto, you're going to see some kind of improvement, especially in terms of reception capability. This is just an absolutely splendid and excellent antenna, and one of my #1 upgrades. Now, it's a bit more expensive than the Nagoya, but we're not talking a hell of a lot here. We're talking a difference of only about $10 or $12. So if you are in the market for an aftermarket antenna and you want one that's very, very good, the Diamond SRH77 CA whip and the 701 Alpha shorter antenna are definitely highly recommended. So let's see what these look like actually on the radio. We'll, since they're both going to look the same on the radio because they both have identical bases, we'll mess with the 701. Now, here's the first thing you're going to notice when you put the 701 on here, or the SRH77, same issue. You can have two things. There's a little bit of a gap at the bottom that's perceptible between the base of the antenna and the actual base of the connection there. And of course you can see some brass there from the nut, and you got a nice little area where you can get water pooling up. These are things we don't necessarily want to have happen. But I've revealed this on other radios before, and when I've talked about this antenna before, you can go down to Harbor Freight. And at Harbor Freight, for the princely sum of, I think I paid $5.99 for this box of sealing washers, and it's item number 67552. Every Harbor Freight has them, and when you open that up, I'm going to ignore every other washer in here except for the ones in this receptacle right here. Now, I already have a couple of them set out. Let's see, it is the 10.5 by 14 by 4 millimeter. And what we're going to do with this is going to create a bit of a it's going to fill that gap and kind of not necessarily weatherproof it, although to give it a little bit of weather protection, but mainly the purpose here is just to fill that gap. So this fits perfectly over the base of the diamond antennas, like so. Just fit it on there. And then when you screw the antenna on and seat it down, you take the little ring and just push it down into the hole. And now, looky, looks almost factory. It fills in that unsightly gap. It's going to create water from puddling up in there and give you a little bit of weather protection. Although, again, I don't know how weather tight that actual connection is, and if this is going to affect the IP67 rating. If you want to be double damn sure that this thing maintains its IP67 rating, I would say keep the factory antenna on the radio. But for recreational use, when you want to reach out and get a little bit of extended range on this antenna, or if you just simply, the IP67 issue is not an issue for you, then by all means you can go with this setup right here. And as I said, that fills in that gap nicely. Looks nice and factory, and altogether it's a pretty good look. Now, I know this is all merely aesthetics, but I think aesthetics are kind of important because you don't have something that's going to distract you every time by having something that looks like hammered shite on a hot sidewalk. So those are 3 recommendations, 4 if you take into account that you can get the longer 15.5-inch whip version of this. Again, there are other antennas out there. But these are the ones that I have experience with and I've come to rely on. There's a whole bunch of other antennas that I've just sort of thrown to the side and I don't ever use them again. These are the ones that I go back to continually every single time, and that's the Nagoya or the Diamond. I've had good results with all of them. So with that, I'll bring it to a close. Thank you for watching and or listening. This is Scott, Kilo Sierra 6, Delta Alpha Yankee from Visalia, California. Have a wonderful day.